Hey everybody, very special treat for you today. I'm here with Neil Widener, the Active Self-Protection Chief Marketing Officer. And we have something that we're going to hurt your feels with today, because today's video is that slow is not smooth and smooth is not fast. But once you understand what we're really talking about here, maybe it comes around to help you a little bit. So let's talk about building efficiency and letting efficiency take time off of what we're doing.
The new Mantis X10 firearms performance system has all the goodness of the original, plus holster draw analysis and recoil analysis. It's a fantastic upgrade and I recommend it highly.
All right, Neil, so tell everybody real quick your kind of role at Active Self-Protection.
My role is I'm the marketing guy, so I deal with all of the sponsors, set up events and that kind of thing. So when we go out and we travel and we train, I line most of that up. When we sign up to guys like Mantis, I work with that relationship. So.
And we have a couple rules when it comes to setting up sponsors. What's the number one rule at Active Self-Protection for who can be a sponsor?
If I wouldn't be comfortable asking my mom to use it, I won't use it.
Right, absolutely. So we use this stuff personally, right?
I use every one of our sponsors. I use their product.
Yeah, me too. So that's number one rule. And Mantis is actually our oldest sponsor, our longest running sponsor.
Yeah, and probably the one I use the most.
Yeah, I mean all the time, right? Well, I mean, I guess I carry my HK every day, so
okay.
you know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this mantra: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. All right, so this gets batted around the training community, and you know whose feels I really hurt with when I said this the other day, that slow is not smooth and smooth is not fast, was military guys, because they learned it in the Army. And here's the thing, my problem with it and is in application, because when we go teach students, we have to help them to feel what's going on here. And when we say slow is smooth and smooth is fast, what we're doing here is we're setting up a mathematical equation, right? So when we say A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C. That's just your basic algebra, right? And because of that, then what people get out of it is, oh, really, slow is fast. See, because if slow is smooth and smooth is fast, then slow is fast. But that's not what they mean.
Yeah, slow is not fast.
Slow is slow.
Slow is slow, fast is fast.
Fast is fast.
Right.
Smooth is smooth. Now, let's back up and think about what I think the heart is here. So you have to understand it. Now, I get it. It's a slogan, right? And you're just, you know, when we have slogans, slogans are what they're worth. However, I think that this one misleads because it teaches students that they can be slow and get fast results.
Right.
But Usain Bolt did not walk his way to a world record. He actually had to go fast.
He was moving pretty quick.
He had to actually go fast. However, I think when we slow down, it allows us to do things correctly. And that allows us to be efficient and allows us to get rid of what, I know you've taken some Scott Jedlinski classes and he's coached you, Scott's coached me as well, what Scott likes to call unnecessary frenetic motion, right? And when we remove the unnecessary frenetic motion, some people would say that is smooth, I would call it efficient. Right? Because I'll be real, when I get going fast and I come here, bang, I'm not smooth at all. I'm explosive, right? I'm trying to go with explosion, bang, and the gun comes out. So it's not smooth when I'm doing that. However, it is very efficient, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And that's what I'm building. So what are your struggles with efficiency? When you struggle, what are you hard?
When I struggle, I've got an elbow issue. However,
the chicken wing.
When I do this, at speed, I don't even feel it. I don't recognize it. I don't know at all. So if I slow down, I'm like, oh, there I did it.
There it is, yeah.
And so at slow, I can build that nice and slow and easy. So I've got that myelinated in. Then when I go to speed, it's not there.
Right. Then it backs out. So when we go slow, we can pay attention.
Right.
And when we can pay attention, then we can find inefficiencies and eliminate them. Right. Now, of course, it's cool here that Neil and I are standing here because we can do that to each other when we're watching. The way that you can do that at home is by videotaping yourself. Yeah. Get your smartphone out, set it up on a ledge or on a tripod, something like that, hit the video, and then just go do it. Feel what goes on, and then after a while you'd be like, oh, why am I doing that? Yeah. Usually on video conferencing with Scott, he looks at me and watches, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, stop that. And that's because he's, you know, bedside manner.
It's great.
So, okay, so once we get that efficiency, once we've myelinated, right? So your brain has myelin pathways that it builds, this is how to do something. And once you do that, then you have to automate. And the way that we automate is by going fast, right? Is by speeding it up. Right. And you usually don't speed it up immediately to full speed. Then you just kind of press the accelerator a little bit, go from some to others. And you're going to be doing this this weekend at the Active Self-Protection National Conference, what we call our walk-down drill.
Yep. Yep.
And so what we do with that drill is we start with a very slow draw to first shot where we're paying attention to all the details and doing it efficiently. We're doing it with great efficiency and knocking off all the rough edges, not for smoothness, for efficiency. Okay, so maybe we reset the phrase. Slow allows attention to efficiency. Efficient movement is sooner,
Therefore,
which feels like faster.
fast. Yep.
So let's think about that. So Neil, your basics of the walk down drill. Talk to us about what you do.
Well, the basics is we start with a 5-second drill.
Okay.
And we count it out verbally because for some reason when we count verbally, it just helps us kind of find our spots in there. So we'll do a 5-second draw where, and John's a big fan of the one Chicago. I'm from the Midwest. We do Mississippi.
You do Mississippi?
Yeah, but it's weird. Anyway, so the Chicago thing is cool, but so we'll count that out. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago, 4 Chicago, 5 Chicago, click. And what we're looking for as we're doing that is the students are looking for their dot or their front sight as it comes out, so they are myelinating where that dot comes. What I'm looking for as I'm walking up and down the line behind them is where their shoulders, where are their hips, what's moving.
Right.
And so you'll see a lot of 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago, 4 Chicago, click, and that. And so once you've identified that and all of that extra movement, now we can walk up and say, okay, hold your hips, check your shoulders, check your elbows, those kind of things. And
we call that drawing from the pool of tranquility.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Of just drawing from no unnecessary motion whatsoever.
Right. Just as nice and easy and as calm as you can be and going. And so once we've kind of identified those things, now we'll go down to a 4-second draw. 1 Chicago through 4, and then down to 3.5, and then down to 3, and then down to 2, and that kind of thing as we walk down. And the interesting thing is before we do any of this is we always do an assessment at the beginning of class.
Right. Where you at?
Come out. And it's cold, I get it. So it's not, maybe it's not 100% fair, but it's pretty close. On your worst day, you're going to be cold.
Right.
Right. So people are drawing 2-second draws to first shot. I've seen 3. We've seen some people in the 4s. We see some fasts too. We see some 1s, some, I don't know that we've ever seen a sub 1, but pretty close. But everybody gets better. And the fun thing is we just did one with some friends of ours, and a really good friend of mine was on the line. And when he did his, it was a pretty good draw. He's clean. But I think it was like 1.5, 1.8, something like that. And I was like, hey, you're going to be below 1 at the end of the day. And he's like, you're lying. He absolutely
There's no
didn't
way.
believe it. And I'm like, you stand here, listen to what we say. I promise you'll be at 1 or less. And he was a .87 at the end of class.
Spicy.
So it works.
All right, let's grab the timer and do it.
So while you're setting that up, the one thing that I would add to the videotaping thing that I found for myself is that if I set the video up on my right, I can kind of watch my grip. As I set it up behind myself, I can watch my hips and my shoulders because I do have a challenge with the shoulder as well. And as I set it up on the other side, I can see that movement. So don't just set the camera up and go, wow, it looks great here.
Move it to another place.
Turn your body or move the camera around because the stuff from behind.
I'll set the camera up right behind me, and then again, so what I want to see is I don't want to see my shoulder moving up. I don't want to see my stuff kicking out this way. I really just want to see really hardly any movement from behind if I can pull that off.
Yeah, so if I've got the camera on this side, I can do my draw to first shot. And everything looks great. That looks great on camera, but if I turn this way and my elbow's out, I've wasted all that movement. So
all right, so let's do a draw. Let's do 1 draw to 5 seconds, right? So we haven't warmed up a ton today, but we're going to do this down into our normal place. So we'll just do 1 at 5, 1 at 4, 1 at 3, 1 at 2, 1 at a second and a half. Then we'll start getting a little spicy from there. Then we'll let's put on the holster draw analysis tool, see where we're at. Okay. So this is a random beep. But I have it set up to about 3 seconds. So on the beep, 5 Chicagos. Now, I use Chicagos, Neil, because it's Chicago click.
I get it.
So it's in quarter-second increments. But Mississippi is 4 syllables, so it's Mississippi click. So you have 0.2 of a second, and it's just weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. Okay, so here we go. On the beep, 5 Chicagos. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago, 4 Chicago, 5 Chicago. And your goal is to hit that right at the beep, and we both did. Notice we used all our time. Now again, that slow allowed attention to detail, right? So I'm telling myself, keep your elbows in, no unnecessary motion, keep your shoulders down, keep here, so then that way bring the gun up to your face, allows me to do all that stuff and myelinate that path. Okay, so now we're gonna come down to a 4-second. Still slow. Okay, here we go, 4 seconds. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago, 4 Chicago. I was out too fast there. I went a little too quick. Want to try one more there?
Yep.
I was a little too fast. Now, when we say that a little too fast, because I was hanging out at the end, so I didn't use all my time, I was wasting a myelination opportunity. That's what I was doing. Let's try it again. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago, 4 Chicago.
I got there a little bit.
A little bit. That's okay. Okay, once you've done a bunch of those, let's go down to 3.
Now you also get the we're cheating group of people that say that.
I did that video a few weeks ago where we were doing defensive fence, where I was doing down here. I've never seen anybody draw from here.
No, you don't.
I've seen plenty of people, hey man, I don't want any problems with one way out in front like this. Usually they do their support hand to cheat with their gun hand to the gun. Okay, I'll draw from defensive fence.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's something to...
All right, 3 Chicagos from here. Okay. Here we go. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago, 4. I was doing 4 Chicagos again. Let's try 3, John. How about we try it again? Here we go. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago, 3 Chicago. Again, nice and efficient. Easy day. Okay, now we talk about this all the time at Active Self-Protection, the 2-second standard, right? 2-second draw to first shot. That is that national standard of a concealed carrier. Your counter ambush time is when the bad guy shows you his shoulder, right? So if he shows you his side, you can get him from there with a 2-second draw to first shot. More efficient draw, a less unnecessary motion draw, lets that be a little bit more hidden. So let's try a 2-second draw to first shot. The thing I want you to recognize here, Neil's really good at this, is that once the movement is efficient, it's not necessarily smooth, it's efficient, is that he is, just you watch, when that gun comes out, he is very much not at speed, he's not going fast, he's just easy day, click. And it looks like he's going very slow, but he's not, he's just being very efficient. All right, 2-second draw to first shot, here we go. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. One thing I think we get when we get here is sometimes people think, oh, okay, wait a minute, this is how we normally draw nice and slow and easy out there. But we're actually doing that now because we're not operating at speed.
Exactly.
So we're still myelinating that path. One more time, 2 seconds. Again, this is what a 2-second draw national standard looks like. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. Easy day. Okay.
Now the thing to also remember is you want to see your sight. You want to see, it's not get it out there and just click. If you don't see your sight, that's not a good draw.
No, it's not. You have to see your front sight, or in both our cases, we're both dot shooters, so you got to see your dot.
Right. Well, in the translation there, the context is if you have to draw your gun and you've got 2 seconds to get, because he showed you his shoulder, you can't miss and get him.
Right. Yeah. You can't miss fast enough to win that gun.
Accurate shot.
Right.
Draw. So,
all right.
So that's the point of it. Make sure you're seeing that dot, and that's part of why we walk that down slowly. Is did you see your dot every time?
Did you see it every time? So now at this point, what we would normally do, what we're going to do this weekend in Kansas, is that we start moving in tenths of a second. 1.9, 1.8, 1.7, and we're doing lots of reps of this. Okay, we don't do this 1, 2, 3 reps. We're just doing this to show you because you don't want it to be a 48-minute video. So we work this about an hour, hour and a half.
Right.
Yeah. And so now we're going to go down to a 1.5 seconds because Neil and I do this all the time. 1.5 seconds. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. Right? 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. Not hard. Again, I want you to see that now we are then automating the process. The processes have already been myelinated. Now we've been working on this idea of smooth, not a efficient presentation. Gosh, even I fall into it, man. An efficient presentation.
Efficient is smooth.
Efficient should be smooth. Yep. But again, you watch, when I get going fast, I go smack, I hit this. That's not smooth.
Right.
Right? Watch Gabe White.
Smooth though.
You listen to Gabe White. Gabe slaps the dickens out of his gun, and he is .75 draw to first shot from 7 yards all day long. Iron sighted too.
One day.
Gabe's a beast. Okay, so 1.5, 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. I was a little bit late on that one. Let's try that one more time, shall we?
Good.
1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. Got it. Barely. Good rep. Okay, so it's about a 1.5 draw to first shot.
Yep.
Now, I know both Neil and I here are running. I start my dry fire every day at 1, right? So when I'm getting going in the day, it's my day for dry fire, I start at a 1 second, okay? And then we work down from there. I start the wheels falling off for me right now, about 0.7.
Yeah.
My wheels start falling off. Okay, 1 second draw to first shot. This is the black belt standard. This is a guy's looking at you, gun on you, he glances away, and you got him. If he glances away, you've got your go signal, right? Now, Niels, is this 1,000 hours of work to get to?
No. I've got 1,000 hours in.
Yeah, you do.
It didn't take me 1,000 hours to get to.
I think when you got a good coach, somebody, you know, like Scott, somebody that like you, we have people get there in an afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now it's just continuing on in the path.
Now, it's 1,000 hours after you learn all of it.
Sure.
Is really
to myelinate the pathway, right?
Yeah, but
all right.
Once you learn it.
1 second draw to first shot. Let's get it. 1 Chicago. Yeah. Okay, very good. Here we go again. All right, I was a little ahead of that, saw my dot. Did you?
Yep, I got my dot.
Now, one thing that I want you to notice. Did you notice, I was paying attention to this because I'm actually using the viewfinder as my target.
Yeah.
You know, I'm using the viewfinder there, and one of the things that I noticed is neither of us were moving other than our hands and arms. Is that you didn't see a whole lot of this, we're not going this way. So again, it's efficient movement that then I can myelinate into a fast place. And that is what helps me to get fast, and that's what the key is here. Okay, so maybe it's time, let's do a little bit of holster analysis on the Mantis and let's see how fast we can get. Okay, well, let's just have a little bit of fun, and then we're gonna go actually hit the range and see about the difference between dry fire and live fire on this one too.
Giddy up.
Which is giddy up. Okay, so we have a Mantis X10, which does the holster draw analysis, which is a pretty cool tool.
It is.
It shows you 3 times, right? It shows you the time it takes you to get your hand on the gun, time it takes to get the gun out and horizontal, and then the time from there till the shot breaks, which is kind of cool. We have it mounted on a magazine adapter here on one of our HK mags, so then that way we can do this game and sit on this. So Neil is going to kind of get with me on that. I'm going to do a couple of reps and just see where I'm at right now at speed in dry fire, and then we'll go to the range, see if we find any difference. Yeah, it'll be kind of fun. All right, I'll do just a couple of reps. Go ahead and hit it, stud.
Shooter ready.
I am ready. He's going to tell me to holster the firearm.
Stand by.
Got a good dot on that. Ooh, 119 slow. 119 slow because it says I took forever to freaking break the shot. I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I felt it sounded quicker than that, but
Stand by.
Okay, 99 there. 99 there, I'm okay with.
Stand by.
Ooh, the 9 flat. 9 flat's okay. I feel pretty good about that. Objective data. A couple more.
Stand by.
Oh, I flubbed the draw.
Yep.
So we just let it go.
Yep.
It's okay.
That's the thing in the dry fire that you can do, and we tell people that in the class all the time. If you flub that, if your shirt gets caught, let it go.
Saw it. That one feel. 9-9?
9-9. Yep.
9-9. One more.
Stand by.
Saw my dot there well.
9-5.
And a 9-5. So, had that one, the one in the middle that showed a 331, kind of screwed my averages up, but I'm going to take a picture of that so y'all can see it. So a couple things that are interesting here. Again, we'll show it up in the corner. My average time to hand on the gun, 0.32. This is one Scott's been bugging me about, that I want to be 0.3 or below, and I am just the darndest tiny bit beyond that. A couple hundredths of a second. I can get that. I can stinking get it. About 0.43 from there to get the gun out, and a 0.25 break, so it's a quick beat. And I think that first one, a 0.43, kind of hurt me a little bit. So other than that 331, I mean, again, 9.5, 9.9, 9 flat, 9.9, and the very first one I did at 119. Not too bad. Let's see how we do from there. Want to take a couple?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Stand by.
Ooh, he got it out there quick on the first one, faster than me, 9.6. 2.8 to the gun, 3.2 and 3.5.
2-8 to the, I don't know. That's what I was really worried about.
Stand by.
Oh, I got no horrible grip.
I was gonna say,
I saw my dot.
oh, and it didn't register it either. It said 298. You're very quick out.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Ooh, 9.7, very good.
Helps if you breathe.
Yeah, it really does.
Stand by.
9.1, spicy.
Stand by.
104 that time. Uno más.
All right.
Stand by.
That was slow.
It was because what'd you feel slow?
I hung out there for a little
Yeah, that was it. 0.48 afterwards to the shot. So I took a picture of that. So we'll upload that as well. But so other than that one though, I mean a 113 on that one, but a 104, 91, 97, 96. And so guys, we can get out there. And again, this is not slow motion. Were you in slow motion there?
No.
No, you're very fast motion, right? Were you necessarily smooth?
No.
I didn't say a whole lot of smoothness, but what'd you see? Efficient.
Efficient.
Efficient. So let's go hit the range, see if we do any different there. But I think this is pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon, guys. Okay, so we were here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale, and the lesson, as always, is I'm an idiot because we loaded everything up and I forgot the Mantis units. So we're not going to be able to do that, but here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to show you guys saw, we're in the 94, 95, 96 range, and now what we've done is we've put our B8 targets all the way out there. It's at 19 yards, which is as far as this particular range has. And I want to show you what a high, mid-90s correlates to in terms of live fire experience. Because what I'm guessing is going to happen here is that both Neil and I are going to take our time, slow fire, and that what we want is we want to keep those shots in the 10 ring of a B8 at 19 yards. Now, if we get them inside the 9 ring, I'm happy with that. That's a black zone, and we're going to do slow fire, but I'm going to try to really take my time and get those there the same that I was doing in my benchmark, so that if our benchmark is awesome, it should correlate into live fire success. So, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, slow fire, buddy, rock and roll. All right, I'm going to use the top left. Hey, look, it turned a light on there for me. That was kind. Oh, I was a little low. Again, one of the keys here, take your time, right? Bring the gun back down, see what it does. There was 3. I was a little high right.
Oh, that was horrible.
How many is that I've fired so far here? All right, I got 2 more.
Well, let's see how we did. How'd you feel like you did, Neil? You call your shots now. I couldn't see him. Could you see him?
I couldn't see him. I know I missed.
So while it's coming in, tell me about your shots.
Everything was pretty good. I think I went a little low on a couple.
I think I had one a little high right, but pretty good otherwise. Yep, like I say, called this one high right in the 9 ring. Okay,
Yep.
remember I called that one. I was a little high right. Other than that, I mean, drilling the X, I'm going to call that one a 10 as well. So I think I did pretty well.
I think everything is left.
Everything is just a little bit left. That now you have not zeroed that dot.
Right.
So it could be the dot.
Yep.
But I mean, even within that, man, I mean, that's still, other than that one, a pretty good thing. So my point is this: if you can do a benchmark in the 90s, then out at 19 yards at slow fire, I can keep everything inside here about a 3-inch circle within any time I want. Now, I tell you what, why don't we try this a little bit more fun one? We're going to say, okay, so here's kind of the little bit speedier version where we're going to put it out at 10 yards, and then I'm going to give Neil 10 seconds to fire 10 shots at the B8 target in 10 seconds. So now you got to go with a little bit of speed. We'll let you do that.
Sounds like fun.
Let's do it. Okay, so let's go 10 yards, 30 feet. Now the classic version of this, Neil, is called the test, Ken Hackathorn's test, right?
Right.
So this starts with gun in hand, okay? So go ahead and load your gun up. I'm gonna come over around here and I am going to be his RO. Okay, buddy, what you're gonna have is at the beep, so you gotta go from low ready, you can't be up on target.
Okay.
You got 10 seconds for 10 shots. So you got longer than you think, okay?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Shooter ready, stand by. All right, final shot at 924. 924 on the final shot. Let's bring it in and see what we got.
Jeez, I threw a couple.
Yeah, we had a little hard time there.
Oh, there we go.
So we threw 1 out of the 7 ring. So we got a 0 on that bad boy.
Don't worry about that little guy.
That little guy, we don't worry about that little guy. What'd you think of that?
It was okay. I just was pushing it a little.
Challenging,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Super challenging. All right,
What
see
was
if
my
I
time?
924. So your
Okay.
time was right in there. Let's see how I'm doing here. See if I can keep my trigger control a little tighter here. See what we got. All right, here we go.
All right. Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
Not bad, not perfect, but not terrible. How'd we do?
Real quick, 776.
776, so I had a little bit more time. But now I start running a little fast. I'm not excited. I'm gonna give myself a 9 on that one because it did break. That one didn't, so I did hit an 8. Hit a bunch of 10s. Should be a little tighter than that, quite frankly. I'm not super happy with that, but that's about kind of what you can do if you're getting after that. I haven't run any of those, but this is what a good trigger control does. So the basics there of being able to do that is how we run decent drills like this, right? So running this here, the test right after that, this is what you can do, and if you can get a benchmark in the 90s, this is what's possible, guys. Neil, thanks for helping me today, bro.
You bet.